so much.
Next on 10 News, we're keeping an eye on storms making their way to the Bay Area.
And one local woman is taking action to protect her horses after a recent spike in slaughters across the state. Ahead on 10 News, the House is gearing up for a historic vote, setting the ground rules for tomorrow's impeachment debate.
And a local horse owner is taking action after catching people eyeing her animals just weeks after several horses were killed for their meat.
But first, we want to take a live look outside over downtown Tampa this afternoon. You see in those clouds already out there. A little peek of some blue sky, but we are expecting some storms around the Bay Area tonight. This line of storms is actually part of a front that brought severe weather and tornadoes to parts of the Deep South on Monday. At least 27 tornadoes ripped up homes and tore through neighborhoods in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Allison Croft.
And I'm Katie McCall. We are not expecting anything that bad, but we could get some thunderstorms and potentially some damaging winds. Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins is here to talk about that.
And I think that it will be the main threat. Now, the other day, if you remember, we had a tornado warning at one point. The setup we have in place today is not as severe as what we had just the other day. But we could see a couple good thunderstorms with some straight line winds is what we call it. And it also gives a small chance for a tornado, but I think most of us will not have to deal with that. I think we'll be fine. See this area up to the north? That will be the best chance. And Citrus County, you're sitting right here. So this is to your north as well, too. We are in this green area.
All right, Bobby, now is a great time to download our free 10 News app. There you can track these storms, and we'll send you alerts if there is severe weather headed for your neighborhood. Developing tonight, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has confirmed 2 children who've been missing for more than 48 hours have been found safe. They say Braxton and Bria Williams were found in the woods. A source tells our sister station in Jacksonville the 2 were lost there. Both are okay tonight. Once we get more information, we're going to bring that to you on the air and online at WTSP.com. When Hillsborough County Schools announced 145 graves from a lost cemetery had been found at King High School, it set off a frenzy. We heard from all of the top leaders, but what about the students? Students in Ivy Ship Washington's African American history class at Jefferson High School had a lot of questions about the cemetery. They wanted to know how so many people could just go forgotten for so many years, especially on a high school campus. It is a sensitive issue, so it was important to the district that they have a discussion where the teacher was prepared and the students felt safe.
I feel like we get into the habit of trying.
The district is working on creating a curriculum that will incorporate the cemetery found at King High School Cemetery and all of the history behind it. And we're also keeping an eye on some other stories that you need to know about tonight. Police are trying to identify a man's body found in the water at Lowry Park Boat Ramp in Tampa. It's still not clear how he got there or how long he was in the water, but the Marine unit was able to pull him out of the water. Police are now investigating. Florida Senator Rick Scott is demanding policy changes at U.S. military bases. The senator says military officers should be allowed to carry firearms on the bases, and he will work with the Armed Services Committees and the Department of Defense to see what needs to be done to make that happen. This all comes nearly 2 weeks after that deadly shooting at Naval Air Station Pensacola. We have a 10 News alert for you coming out of Washington. The U.S. Senate approved a defense spending bill report that includes changes to military housing. It is being called the most substantial overhaul of private military housing since it started. It gives families a tenant bill of rights and adds new requirements for the companies who own and manage private military housing. Those companies would have to find a new way to check houses for lead and mold and tell families about any major repairs before they sign a lease. Families affected say these are great steps, but they are not done fighting. And they tell 10 Investigates' Courtney Robinson, right now on MacDill, the problems are still happening. It's a super opportunity. Tampa Bay businesses made their Super Bowl 55 pitches hoping to land a contract. It's coming. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest events in sports, and it has a whole economy all its own that surrounds it wherever it goes.
And as Tampa gets ready to host Super Bowl 55 in 2021, local businesses there are already vying to be a part of that show. Today, Phil Buck got an inside look at that process.
Let's take a live look outside at Clearwater Beach. Very overcast looking there. Not a lot of sunshine.
Yeah, just missed
on
out
the
on
beach.
The fog there.
Yeah. So what do we need to be looking out for?
Well, showers and thunderstorms coming through next several hours. If you're right there along the immediate coast, we're talking between now and about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then things will start to push inland slowly as we move through the evening hours. But there is that small chance for showers. Hey, hello, if you're watching.
These kids are leaving sweet notes for holiday shoppers. Getting that Christmas tree, it is a special time around the holidays, and people have all kinds of traditions when it comes to picking the perfect one.
Well, kindergartners at LLC Day School are making it just a little more special. 10 News photojournalist Jean Yeagle shows you how one of their favorite trees became one of mine, too.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, how cute is he?
Could he be any cuter?
So I had no idea that they were going to do the letter. And it was just, it really was special to go there and see it and read. And there was a little note and a little picture. And they were there because they were learning about evergreen trees. That's why they took the trip there and they got to do a little tour. They have been doing that for 15 years. So you can imagine the letters and pictures that they're getting.
Getting the letter? I like that better than getting the tree.
Right? Absolutely. That was the best part of picking out the tree, was getting the letter and being able to read it.
And
it's
I think
so cute.
he did a good impersonation of the dog.
Of the dog.
Too.
Yeah, he did
the
a
way
nice
the dog
job.
was sitting.
That's really cute. Something to, just to think about, a new tradition.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I bet a lot of teachers are probably watching this thinking, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I know. Maybe they'll put that on the list. Yeah.
CBS.
Right now on 10 News this evening, it's been a rough flu season for some local schools, but tonight they're fighting back how you can protect your child. Dreaming of weight loss for your New Year's resolution? A new study says social media might actually help you meet your goal. She's one of Tampa Bay's top artists using just her mouth. Now she's trying to use her talents to help others facing similar challenges. 10 News at 5:30 starts now. And we'll get to those stories in just a moment. But first, we want to take a live look outside of downtown Tampa.
Pretty cloudy out there over downtown. We are keeping an eye on some storms on the radar for this evening.
Yeah, that's right. That same front brought tornadoes to parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama yesterday. At least 27 tornadoes tore through neighborhoods all throughout the Deep South.
We're going to show you some of that damage coming up in just a minute, though. First, we want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins, because, again, we are watching some of this kind of move into our area.
And the good news here is, guys, it looks like it's going to stay to our north, that best chance for severe weather. So we are going to see a couple gusty thunderstorms. Some of those could be severe, just barely, but the best threat for tornadoes will be well to our north, and it's not going to be anything like what they saw in Mississippi and Alabama. But there's some good rain coming through.
That information can save your life. An elementary school classroom experiment is going viral, and healthcare workers are hoping it'll be an effective tool in battling the flu virus this year. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser is live at Riverview High School this evening, where they're offering students free vaccines. And Eric, they've already seen a few outbreaks in Hillsborough County schools this year. All right, Eric, we have information about how you can stay healthy this flu season at WTSP.com. We're always scrolling, right? So what could social media be doing to your weight? We have a 10 News alert right now in Tampa, where an impeachment rally is underway. This is a live look outside the Sam Gibbons Courthouse on Florida Avenue. You can see a crowd has gathered there, a significant one. This is one of more than 500 rallies being held all across the country. It comes just one day before the House goes to vote on whether or not to impeach President Trump. A new report from the Associated Press out late this afternoon finds the president is on track to be impeached, with the majority in favor. In a fiery letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, President Trump insisted he has done nothing wrong. Everything in moderation. Let's take a live look outside at Clearwater Beach. Not moderation there when it comes to rain. Look at that rain on the lens. Oof. And we are tracking some storms on the radar throughout our area, not just the Clearwater area.
The heaviest stuff is still offshore of Clearwater, but it will be rolling in here pretty soon. Pasco Hernando, especially Hernando and Citrus, now seeing it. We still got the final line to come through. That'll be later this evening. Couple good storms are going to roll through.
Some of your recent Subway purchases are helping feed people right here in our community this holiday season. Today, the restaurant donated a big check for nearly $15,000 to Feeding Tampa Bay. During September, meals bought at Subway helped go toward that donation. It'll provide more than 150,000 meals to local food banks. Feeding Tampa Bay is part of the National Feeding America Network and focuses on providing food to the hundreds of thousands of food insecure families in West Central Florida.
A local painter with an unpredictable disease is getting creative with how she creates this stunning artwork.
Sarah May painted as a child, but she stepped away from art for many, many years, and she returned to the hobby just 6 years ago. She now sells multiple pieces every single month.
Some of her work has even been turned into greeting cards. All this after a devastating diagnosis. 10 News reporter Bobby Lewis is.
It takes you a minute to figure out that that's what's going on.
Her work is incredible.
Isn't that amazing that she can do that?
Yes, it's beautiful.
So Sarah hopes to get her work featured in a local gallery someday. I think that wish is definitely going to come true.
Absolutely. Her goal is to establish a foundation to help get others facing paralysis into painting as well.
Man, that work was absolutely stunning.